If King Salman is the roar of gold across the desert, then Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed is the silent wind that reshapes the dunes. He doesn't need to speak loudly because when he moves, entire nations listen. Known to the world as MBZ, he is the president of the United Arab Emirates and the mastermind behind Abu Dhabi's rise as a global power. He doesn't chase attention. He commands it with silence. And when it comes to luxury, he redefines it with precision. In just a few years, his personal wealth multiplied from $3 billion to over $30 billion. But the true empire isn't just in the numbers. It's in the world he's crafted behind palace doors. Let's begin with his crown jewel, Emirates Palace. Forget hotels. This isn't hospitality. This is royal dominance in marble and gold. Built at a cost of over $3 billion, it stretches across private beaches and palm-lined roads. Inside? Spas for royalty only, a private marina for yachts that never dock twice, a concert hall where legends perform behind velvet secrecy, and an airstrip that welcomes only the elite. This isn't a destination. It's an experience that whispers, "Power lives here." But MBZ isn't confined to the Gulf. Across the Atlantic, he owns a $45 million estate in Beverly Hills. 8 bedrooms, 13 bathrooms, a rooftop tennis court, and a private cinema. Every brick, every chandelier, every inch of it says one thing: status isn't spoken. It's built. On the water, he commands the Azima superyacht that cost $600 million to construct. Designed like a naval vessel wearing a tuxedo, it stretches over 180 meters and can outrun nearly every yacht on Earth. Inside? Ballrooms, lounges, private quarters that make 5-star hotels look like guest houses. But Azim isn't for show. It's for presence. And when he hits the road, he brings a fleet that's less collection, more declaration. A $2.5 million Bugatti Veyron, a $3 million Lamborghini Veneno, a $19 million Bugatti La Voiture Noire, the most expensive car ever built, made once for one man. MBZ doesn't flaunt. He doesn't need to. He walks 10 steps ahead of the world, moves pieces no one else sees, and builds not for applause, but for permanence. Where others show off wealth, MBZ expresses power through stillness. Every palace, every car, every decision is a chess move from a king who never needs to raise his voice. So if you had all the power in the world, would you broadcast it with noise? Or would you master silence the way MBZ has? Leave your answer below. Some kings rule nations. But one man decided that wasn't enough. He wanted to build a world. Meet Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the ruler of Dubai and vice president of the United Arab Emirates. In just 3 decades, he turned Dubai from a desert into a dream. Not by chance. By vision. He didn't move into power, he built it from the ground up. Towers that kiss the clouds. Islands shaped by imagination. Roads that lead to wonder. At the center of it all, a king with a personal fortune of $15 billion. And a mindset that says, if it doesn't exist, create it. His residence? Zabil Palace. Worth $500 million. A royal domain covered in ivory, crystal, black ebony, and solid Arabian gold. It's not a house. It's an empire within 4 walls. Inside are cinemas no one's ever seen, spas dipped in gold, indoor pools reflecting hand-painted ceilings, game rooms for princes, and 6 personal gyms, one for each of his. This isn't luxury. It's legacy in motion. And when it came time for a wedding, he didn't rent a ballroom. He built a stadium. Spent over $200 million for a single night. Because for Sheikh Mohammed, events are not memories, They're monuments. Around the world, he owns more land in the UK than the British royal family. That includes a $45 million mansion in Dallas and 63,000 acres in Scotland, his personal kingdom away from the desert sun. At sea, his yacht is named Dubai because no other name could match its grandeur. Worth $350 million, it stretches over 530 feet. A helipad, a concert stage, a royal dining hall, and an infinity pool that blends into the ocean. On land, his cars roar like royal trumpets. A $4 million Bugatti Veyron, a $2.5 million Lamborghini Reventon, a $1.5 million Ferrari Enzo. But here's what truly sets him apart. Sheikh Mohammed doesn't crave the spotlight. He builds it. He doesn't wait to be seen. He designs visibility into the skyline. While others flaunt, he creates. So if you could build not just a house, not just a palace, but a city that bends to your dream, would you take that chance? Let us know in the comments. Because sometimes, vision is the most valuable crown of all. If most kings own luxury, this man defines it. Sultan Hassanal Bolkiah, ruler of Brunei, isn't just a monarch, he's a living myth. A man so surrounded by opulence, Western media once declared he lives like 1,000 kings. His personal fortune? Over $30 billion. But it's not about numbers. It's about how he chooses to live. His home isn't just a palace, it's a kingdom. Istana Nurul Ayman, the largest royal residence on earth. Over 2.1 million square feet. Bigger than the Vatican. Larger than life. Inside, more than 1,700 rooms, 250 bathrooms, gold-plated halls, royal prayer rooms, banquet chambers that stretch longer than football fields, and even an air-conditioned stable for his horses. Estimated cost? $1.4 billion to recreate today. But that's just the architecture. The soul of this place is a tribute to timeless tradition, elevated by extreme wealth. And then there are the cars. Over 7,000 vehicles. Each arranged by brand, engine, and color like a museum of speed. Not just Rolls-Royce's gold-plated ones. Not just Bentley's diamond-encrusted. One-off Ferraris and custom Lamborghinis crafted for no other human on Earth. Total car value? Over $2 billion. Just in vehicles. And when he needs a haircut? He doesn't book an appointment. He flies his personal barber from London to Brunei. First class. 5-star hotel. $20,000 for a trim. But behind the headlines and headlines of gold lies something rare, a soul tethered to tradition. Though he's surrounded by the world's rarest luxuries, the Sultan remains deeply rooted in Islamic ritual. He still descends from his throne to greet his people during sacred festivals. He still hosts national banquets where 100 royal dishes are prepared by 40 chefs, combining heritage and innovation in every bite. He doesn't travel to impress. He travels to remind the world that in a quiet corner of Southeast Asia lives a monarch untouched by time. For the Sultan, luxury isn't for display. It's a way of preserving identity. So in a world where speed and simplicity dominate, he chooses depth, tradition, and majesty. A king who walks not through modern trends, but through living history. Would you do the same? From the dunes of Qatar rises a different kind of monarch, not forged by age, but by ambition. Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, the Emir of Qatar. Born in 1980. Crowned in 2013. And by 33, he was holding the reins of one of the richest nations in the world. But wealth alone didn't earn him power. It was vision clear, bold, and global. Today, his net worth is over $21 billion. And he uses it not just to live, but to reshape the future of the Arab world. One of his most iconic gestures, gifting a $400 million Boeing 747 a flying palace to the president of Turkey. Not for politics, for respect. Inside that plane, a government boardroom, a gold-plated salon, a royal suite, and even a sky-high hospital. Because when Sheikh Tamim gives a gift, he gives legends. But that's just one chapter. On the seas, he owns the Al Uazail, a $500 million super yacht, longer than a football field, with a banquet hall for 200 guests, a floating concert venue, a helipad, and an indoor swimming pool. Not built for flash but for presence. On the ground, he rides in custom Bentleys, armored Maybachs, and a Bentley Mulsanne limo designed for sovereign transport. Every curve, every stitch, every armored panel whispers, this is not just a car, it's command on wheels. But Sheikh Tamim doesn't stop at luxury. He is a strategist. Under his leadership, Qatar shocked the world by winning the bid to host the 2022 FIFA World Cup, the first Arab nation to do so. Billions were poured into infrastructure, diplomacy, and vision. Because for Sheikh Tamim, success isn't shown, it's built and delivered. Today, he's a diplomatic force. Meeting French presidents, partnering with China, funding schools in Africa, investing in Europe and America not to boast, but to shape influence without conflict. He is quiet, but effective. In a region known for ancient monarchies, Sheikh Tamim represents the new face of royalty, young, calculated, and fearless. And here's the question. In a world where so many fight to be loud, would you have the discipline to lead with calm authority? Let us know in the comments.